You have to open up your eyes. Study a little Jewish history. We are living in incredible times. You're living Erev the Gula Mitzvah Vashlema. I don't know this because of wars. I don't know this because of newspapers. I know this because of the Rebbe. I grew up around the Rebbe. One of the things that the Rebbe spoke about the imminence of the coming of Mashiach, about our time, is how well Jewish people are doing all over the world. If you just be honest and don't get swept away by noise and by people, anti-Semitism, it's true, there is anti-Semitism. It's always been anti-Semitism. But anti-Semitism becomes a monster when we make it into a monster. The Jewish people are doing incredibly well everywhere in the world, better than they've ever done. But according to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, one of the simanim of Mashiach is this pasuk on which this class is based. The last tag under the going for ghost is lichtik. It's lichtik. And I live with this, I do. And when people who I consider, who I respect, come to me with all their pessimism, I don't understand. You heard these sikhs. What happened? And they don't know what to say. What they really want to say is, well, that was wrong. Well, that was a long time ago, and then since then was a Gimel Tammuz. All these Baba Maises. If the Rebbe is a Rebbe, it's true. If it's not a Rebbe, it never was true. Wasn't true yesterday. If it's not true today, it wasn't true yesterday. And if it's true, yes, it's true today. I would like you to just do the research, but with an open mind. And if you study Jewish history, what the Jewish people went through the last 2,000 years, last 200 years, last 100 years, we're living in bad times. The times are so amazing. But we, Baruch Hashem, Jews need to have a problem. You know, one of the Jews, I call it the Anne Frank syndrome. Jewish people, if they have a problem, they're incredibly optimistic. Anne Frank was trying to explain how the Nazis are really good people. Chas v'shalom, a Jew doesn't have a problem, if life is perfect, he makes them up. The problem with the problem the Jew makes up, they can't fix it because they're not real. But a Jew needs a problem. A Jew cannot chas v'shalom have a good life. It's impossible. It's got to be miserable. So if the guy hates him and punches him, oh, Baruch Hashem, I'm alive. But Baruch Hashem, he didn't kill me, he just smashed my nose. And the Jews always find a positive spin on their tzaddas. But if there's no tzaddah, the Jew invents one. And that's such a disease. It's such a makas medina. You have to understand, there are Jews in this world who are not from. In principle, not from, right? So what is their Judaism? The Holocaust, the state of Israel, and anti-Semitism. But the state of Israel became a bad place. Why? BDS, Shlita, and there's a lot of Jews who are caught up in that whole disease. I have a former student who said to me, she came home from school to her family in Australia, and they wouldn't talk to her because she's an evil woman. She doesn't stand up for the Palestinians. That's 20 years ago. So if you can't have Israel, state of Israel is a bad country. The Holocaust is too long ago to think about it anymore. So what's left? You have to find somebody who hates you, and you point, oh, anti-Semite. It creates the Jew's identity. You don't need the anti-Semite. The Jew needs to be able to point his finger at somebody. So the Jews have a reason. You know what makes me a Jew? I called you an anti-Semite. But we're from, for heaven's sakes. We don't need anti-Semitism to be Jewish. We have Shabbos and kosher and mikveh and tefillin. And if you're from, you can put in a bin of tam tefillin, you can cholav Yisrael, and pas Yisrael, and bishul Yisrael, and glad kosher. And there's so many things you can do to identify the Jew without having to be miserable. And it makes me crazy when I hear people who I respect get caught up in this pessimist negativity. It's so un-Lubavitch. It is so un-Lubavitch. It's so un-Lubavitch. I tell my students all the slots for the Morosh Cheredikas are filled. The Lubavitchers are positive people because the Rebbe is a positive man. It's on us to get into our heads that the Lubavitcher Rebbe don't make no mistakes. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe didn't say things for a period of time which has passed. This is Nevuah Mamish. L'chol b'nei Yisrael l'ha'or b'shveisim is me and you now. It says lichtik. We're living in a very good time. It will be a really good idea if we can take our heads out of the stupid newspapers, and I'm saying that rather than saying a 3-letter word you're not allowed to say in a shul, and be positive people. L'chaim v'lebracha, gute Nacht.